Good morning, Facebook people. As promised, I said that I was going to start doing my Touchy Tuesday videos every last Tuesday of the month. Okay, my bad. I started messing with something on the phone because I was trying to turn the phone to where it would be silent and it wouldn't vibrate, because every single time I start to go live, somebody want to text or call or something. So anyways, my phone be quiet all day until I go live. Hey, Miss Myra. Hey, man. How y'all doing? I haven't done a Touchy Tuesday in a while, but like I said, I wanted to get back into doing them at least one Tuesday out of the month, because life is happening. And I still love doing the Touchy Tuesdays and sharing what little bit of knowledge I have. But, I want to do better at promoting everything that I do on social media. But I don't want to, overdo it so much to where I'm so focused on doing social media that I don't get nothing else done. So I said once a month until I get some things in order and stuff like that. Thank you, Miss Myra. Miss Jackie of Jackie's Natural, I think it's Jackie's Beauty and Nail Salons or something like that. Did it in Jamaica. She did a really, really good job. It was tight at first, but that's because I had locks forever, like a decade and 2 years, and nobody really was pulling and tugging on my hair. So I think that as a result, it made me a lot more tender in my scalp. But anyways, thank you very much. So this video is designed for hairstylists or whoever schedules clients. I think a lot of people can get points from it, from people that schedule clients, whether it be by book, and by book I mean like actually writing them down by hand, or by book could even mean putting them in like your actual calendar on your actual phone, or whatever the case may be. Like you have your own little way of scheduling your clients. And so for those of you that do not know me, my name is Deanna, your fave stylist, and I'm the owner of Melvirus Hair Studio here in Tucson, Arizona. And it is an awesome salon where I provide a clean, professional, neat, and friendly environment for booth renters to come and do their thing. And I like to try to put a focus on hiring ladies that do business similar or close to how I do business, so that we can flourish together. Because when we eat together, we can eat more. Shout out to my MHS crew that I have right now. So yes, I'm here to teach. So here I am. It's Touchy Tuesday. I used to have a Touchy Tuesday song, but I don't feel like doing it right now, so I'm not. So I'm going to get right into it. And if you guys have questions or anything like that, feel free to put it at the bottom, and then I'll answer the question. I got a bad habit of getting on here, and then the questions will start coming and the comments, and I'll be having all side conversations and stuff like that. So if I don't respond, that means I'm going to go back and comment later at the end of the videos, because I'm going to try to stay on track about what I'm talking about for those that actually want the knowledge. But for those that love me and I just love them, I'm going to hit you up on the comments whenever I get done or at the end of the video. So, as I said earlier, my name is Deanna, your fave stylist. I'm the owner of Melvirus Hair Studio here in Tucson. I am an educator. I am a hairstylist. I am a mom-to-be and a recently new wife. And today we're going to be talking quickly and briefly about scheduling. So I was going through my stuff, and this is, when I first got here in 2009, I was still scheduling in books. So I've been doing hair since I don't even know the year, but since I've been 14. And in the beginning, it was just people would call me and say they're coming, and it wasn't that many people coming. So I would just say, oh yeah, Saturday, cool. It ain't like I had a busy lifestyle at the age of 14, 15, and 16. I was just happy to make a couple of dollars on the weekend. So I would just be available. So there was no need to schedule. But then as I got more busy, I moved to Atlanta for about a year or so. And I was doing hair out of the house, and a lot more people were coming by. And then when I was in my college dorm at school, I had to start arranging people around my actual class schedule to do hair. And it just took more like paying attention to people and knowing, when they're coming and stuff like that. So you don't leave them standing up at your house or wherever you're at doing hair, because it's just rude. You got to respect people's time. And I've always known that. But when I started actually doing hair in a salon, it started off, I was on the beach. I was doing boulevard braids, like when you go on vacation and you can go like, anywhere. You're like in Jamaica or you're in Myrtle Beach or Miami somewhere. You always see girls in little corners and stuff doing hair. So I think one of my first places I worked was doing braids on the boulevard. It was like 25 for half a head, 50 for a whole head. And that's where I got my speed with braiding hair, but that's another story. And so we were doing it on the boulevard there. We didn't have to schedule appointments there because it was just strictly walk-ins. We would be calling people off of the street and telling them to come and get their hair braided before they went and got in the beach. So there was no scheduling. But then I started working at a salon called Expressions in Myrtle Beach. And I had to start scheduling people. So I did. Back then, I was just doing it like in my cell phone or something like that. I think I might have had a book. I don't remember. But when I got to Tucson and things got really, really professional and I had to really start being on top of stuff, I had to get books. So these are some of my books. This one was from like 2011. I have a whole stack of them somewhere. Why am I keeping all of my old appointment books? I don't know, because I'm a pack rat and I can't help it. So anyway, this book right here was from like 2011 to 2012. And then I got another one that was like my 2012 book. And it's crazy because if you keep all your old appointment books, you can actually go back and see like how slow you used to be, how much money you used to make. And it kind of encourages me. And I thought that it would be great to share with other hairstylists, because then other hairstylists that are beginning booth renters starting out where I started out at, like in '09 and up until like 2012 or whatever, could see that it does actually grow, But anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to get into it. I wanted to go over some differences, some likes and dislikes about what I liked about scheduling by hand and what I like about scheduling on a software. So I'm just going to go through it and pick out some differences. So in my salon right now, we're using a software called Vagaro, which works pretty awesome. We've had a few bumps and bruises as far as like an occasional deposit issue with some of the stylists and things like that. But I personally have never had an issue with any money or anything like that being deposited into my account. So sometimes that can be discouraging because it discourages your your stylist from actually wanting to use the software if they're not getting their money on time. So as far as I know, we haven't had too many issues right now. So, all right. So I'm in my book. I opened up my first one. It's from 2013. So back in the day, back when I was at Passe's, I would write down, this book was with me everywhere I go. So one thing that I do like about the actual scheduling software, when you schedule on a software on the computer, they usually have an app that you can download to your phone. So when I first started doing hair, I had to keep this book with me everywhere I went because, for one thing, people like stuff instantly. They want to know right now. If somebody sees you and they're like, oh yeah, I want to get my hair done. And you're like, yes, girl, well, let me get back with you as soon as I get to my appointment book. They could find another hairstylist. They could be ready to get it done right then and right there. But if you don't have your book, then it's possible that you could miss out on that potential client. But if you have the scheduling software and you have a smartphone, you can schedule from anywhere. You can be at church. You can be meeting somebody in the gas station, and you can be, wherever. You can be at a concert and ran into somebody and they just loved your hair, and you can log on and say, well, my stylist Edwina Booby the AZ Braider braided my hair. You know what? I can get you set up with a consultation with her right now. Give me a second. Let me pull out my phone. So not only does having the software allow you to schedule for other people if you have it set up that way, but if you have the book, you have to have it. You don't want to be like at a cool concert and you got to pull out this big old book to schedule somebody. But then who does that, right? You probably say, oh, I'll just text them and we'll just go back and forth and blah, blah, blah. But whatever the case, make sure you act on that client right away. So some of the things that I used to do, some mistakes that I used to make is always make sure to get the first name and the last name whenever you're scheduling people. I don't care if it is going to be in a book or in a software. Always make sure to get their first and last name. This helps you to avoid walkouts. I think that it helps to make sure that people take you seriously as a stylist, as opposed to you just getting their nickname. They might show up, they might not show up. If they are somebody that's disrespectful and don't want to pay, you don't want to have to call the cops and be like, yeah, this dude named Ray came by here and he didn't pay. And they like, Ray what? And you like, I don't know. He had on a black t-shirt or something, So I've had that happen before where if something was to go wrong, I couldn't really do anything about it if I wanted to because I didn't get all their information. So I find it, when I first got started, as you would see, I would just put their first name and last name. If it was an older client that I had for a while, I wouldn't bother about getting their phone number and stuff every time. So anyways, as you'll see in here, I wrote down my client and it'll say this one says Shaq, $65. This one says John, $35. Fabo, shout out to Fabo, $45. Kelly, $65. Damien, $65. So what I would do is after every single client, whenever I got finished with them, I would write the price that I charged them beside it. And if I circled it, that meant that I had accounted for that in my tally at the end of the week already. So I would write down everybody's price right beside their name. And then at the end of the week, I would go through on a different sheet of paper, which would look something like this. And I would add it up. So when I was tallying my stuff up for the week to see how much money I made, I would go back and I would circle each one that let me know okay, 87.63, boom, wrote that down. 45, boom, wrote that down. And I would circle it. So that would help me to add my stuff up at the end of the week. This is an awesome way to do it. You do not have to do computer stuff if you don't want to. But if you don't get with the wave of technology is going to leave you. So I'm actually in the process of trying to get everything in my salon to be either automatic or computerized because it's easier. And I feel like if I'm paying for a computer software, I need to utilize every single part of it to make sure that I'm getting my money's worth and that I'm saving time, because time is money. So if you have a computer software, it does save you time. If you're doing it by the book, you are going to have to spend, an extra 20, 30 minutes if you're one of those people that stay on top of doing their books weekly. But if you're doing it daily, you probably only will spend a good 10, 15 minutes. So having a computer software does actually save you time. However, the setup in the beginning, if you have a computer software and you have to set everything up in the beginning, it does take some time because the computer software may keep up with your retail. It may keep up with all of your clients, and it will keep up with all types of stuff. But you do have to take that initial first time of going into the software and setting everything up, which for me, the first time I set everything up in my Vagaro software, when it was just myself, I had to go through and plug in all of my retail. And then I had to go in and set all of the tax prices or the tax percentages on the retail so that when people would be rung up or cashed out, then it would calculate the tax properly. Then I had to go back and actually input all of my clients, But what I ended up doing was just I inputted most of my clients, and then the ones that came back on repeat when I transferred over to the computer software, I would just put them in as I go. So I'll say another great thing about computer software, if you're a hairstylist or a beauty professional, I'll say, because this pertains to all types of businesses that, have to schedule clients. But if you are a hairstylist that's really into having more of a personal touch with your clients, beauty professional, whatever. If you're a beauty professional that's more into having a personal touch with your clients because you understand that having a relationship with somebody is what, when you have relationships with people, those people are more likely to do business with you. So it pays for you to reach out to people and to have and to say, hey, how you doing? I'm just checking in with you. I wanted to text you and make sure you remember that you have an appointment tomorrow. Or you can call. But this, I feel like whenever you're writing your appointments down, it is mandatory for you to call those people. I feel like when you're writing appointments down and people don't get regular reminders or you don't call them on a regular basis, you do have more no call, no shows, especially in the beginning when you're trying to build your clientele. So one thing I noticed when I switched from doing my clients in a book to actually doing my clients in a computer software was that I got less no call, no shows. And I also got to save time because I didn't have to text my clients ahead of time to see if they were going to make it to their appointment, because the computer software does that for you. I didn't have to email them or call them or anything like that, because they now get a text message reminder when they schedule their appointment. And then they also get a reminder and an email, a text message and an email a week in advance. And then they also get a text message and an email 2 days before their appointment. So with each different computer software, you can set it up to whatever you want it to be. But that's how I have mine set up at Vagaro. So another thing that I thought was awesome about doing everything in a vagaro software, which is not a bad thing if you decide to do it by hand, but if you are working at a salon where everyone works as a team, and maybe like in our salon at Melvira's Hair Studio, we might have one stylist that's a cosmetologist and she'll do the trim. And then we'll have another one that would be doing the braids. And then she would, so in order for, because the hair braider legally can't do a trim, so we have to be very careful about that. So we would have people scheduled with different people for different parts of their service. If you're scheduling in a book, you cannot, as a hair braider, for instance, you can't offer a trim to them from someone else in the salon if you only have your appointment book with you. Or you could call and say, hey, Susie, I just wanted to know if you have some time on your books at this time to do a trim. That does work. However, if you have a computer software and you have it set up to where everybody can look at everyone's schedule, you could say, hey, you know what? Well, Susie's going to be in on this day. How about we get you scheduled? And things just go a lot quicker. It's a lot easier. Yeah. So I like that part about it. But one thing that I noticed was when I was working at another salon, there was about 8 of us stylists at one point in time working at a salon that I worked at here in Tucson. And we had one community scheduling book, which was at the front desk. And what would happen is we would write everything down in pencil. And sometimes people would schedule for each other. Sometimes they wouldn't. So it would be like you would have to like call up to the salon every day if you decided not to come in that day, because booth runners make their own schedules. So if you were a booth runner that decided that you didn't want to come into work today, but maybe it's a Tuesday today, you didn't want to come into work today, but someone called and the other hairstylists were booked, so they booked you with a 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. So now it becomes your responsibility as a stylist to call and check at the salon at the end of the day and say, hey guys, I just want to know if I got any appointments scheduled for Wednesday, which can be inconvenient because let's just say all the other booth renters decided I'm going to take off of work early today and nobody's in the salon, and you call and you can't find out what your 9 o'clock appointment is because nobody's in the salon. Everybody left early for the day for whatever reason. Well, or you'd have to actually get up and drive to the salon to go and look at the appointment book just to see if you have an appointment for the next day. Well, that is okay. And it seemed to work out for us when we were working together as a team. And for the most part, most hairstylists would just mark themselves off, on the community scheduling book, and they would just mark themselves off until like 10 or 12, and they would just tell themselves, you know what, on Wednesday I'm just going to go to work at 12, and then they would show up, and if they had something, it'd be cool because they planned to be there already. But if you're one of those stylists that you only want to go to work when you have clients, which I do not recommend, that is not a good clientele building procedure, but it sucks. But sometimes you just got to sit there and wait for it. But that's another story for another day. So that can be kind of inconvenient. But if you have a scheduling software, then when you schedule in the software, it's automatically going to inform that hairstylist by text message and email and say, hey, Miss Lux, I looked at something that it says Lux. So that's the name we're using. Hey, Miss Lux, girl, you got an appointment scheduled tomorrow at 9 a.m. for hair braids with this client, barbecue, whatever, right? And then that stylist is going to get the appointment, and also the actual administrator of the whole scheduling account or software is going to get an email. So I think that having a computer software makes things easier. It promotes teamwork. It allows other hairstylists or beauty professionals to see what's going to be going on in the salon before they get into work, so they can get a kind of feel for just what they need to do. It gives clients options because now you don't have to be at the beck and call of your telephone or your email or your DM or however clients try to get in contact with you, because now the clients can schedule themselves. If you have an online software, most of them allow the client to schedule themselves, where they can go online, which ours is www.melvirushairstudio.com, and they can go online and schedule themselves. Now, like I said earlier, we use Vagaro, so I like that with Vagaro, we have it set up to where they can't just schedule themselves. You can have it set up that way, but I have it set up to where they can request an appointment, because sometimes people need a consultation and they don't understand that they need a consultation, because maybe other hairstylists that they've been to just, they call them and they just say, come right in. Or maybe it's a more complex hairstyle that just requires a consultation, and you want to be able to call them. Or maybe it's a hairstyle that is, like I said, a little bit more complex, or it may require a deposit because it's a hairstyle that when you schedule it, it's going to mark the hairstylist's whole entire 8-hour day off. And if someone is marking their entire 8-hour day off, it's a big chance that they're going to require a deposit, more than likely, because if you decide not to show up, they still need to make a little bit of money for committing that time to you, because sometimes, to be honest, people can just be flaky and just have no respect for your time. So what else is great about that? Now, I am not knocking scheduling in a book. If you can schedule by a book and be the busiest hairstylist in the world. I do also believe that when you schedule it written down and by a book, and people are not able to get in contact with you 24/7, it puts boundaries on your life. If you say, I'm only going to answer my phone from 9 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday, And if people call my phone, I'm just not going to answer, or my phone is going to be turned off. This is my business phone. They're going to have to leave a message. I think it is a lot easier for you to put boundaries. And I do think that it's important for beauty professionals to have boundaries. There was actually a time when I was just starting to get really, really busy when I first got to the solar salons on the north side. And it was like every time my phone would chirp, beep, vibrate, give me a notification, I was like right on top of it, because I was just in that building mindset and I was grinding and I was going to get it by any means necessary. Everybody that called got an appointment. I didn't care if I was working 15 hours a day. But that was very unhealthy, and it was a very unbalanced way to live my life. And because of it, for a short while, I developed what I call telephone anxiety, where it's like when I would pick up my phone, my heart would start racing. And I was like, what in the world is wrong with me? And I was like, why is my heart beating fast like this all the time? And that only happened like one other time, twice in my life now. But the first time that it happened, I was in beauty school, working, stressed out, had a bunch of stuff going on because I was making poor decisions. And I had got a bad case of anxiety. I didn't know what it was. And it took me actually taking some time off from beauty school and slowing down on doing hair on the side and just like going to work, serving tables, and coming back home to rest. You know, I had to slow my life down in order to slow my heart down. It was like really crazy. But now that I was older and then that happened, I had to like literally tell myself like, okay, you are doing too much. So I had to find time to like turn my phone off and like take care of me, and just, I had to stop giving so much of myself away. You can still give yourself away and look out for people, but you got to be balanced. I get tired, and when you get tired, you need to rest. You need to listen to your body, and you don't need to be available 24 hours a day. I don't care what nobody say. For me, that didn't work. It created anxiety. So I do feel like this helps to create that, but also having a scheduling software does help to create boundaries as well, but it still gives your clients 24-hour access to you, because they can go online whenever they get ready. There's plenty of times I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and I'll have 3 or 4 appointments scheduled online, and I'll get the text message and the emails and all of that good stuff. But anyways, I think I've been going long enough about this. So there are advantages to scheduling and writing it down in a book, but there are also advantages to doing it on an actual software. If you're a salon owner, I feel like you need a software nowadays, because the software is going to keep up with your retail. It is going to give you a clear, if you're with Vagaro, I'm only speaking for Vagaro because that's what I use. Vagaro is going to give you it pulls up a chart of your actual, let me see if I can turn this around for those of you that may be interested. So as you can see, this is my Vagaro. Okay, so this right here, it tells you, like I have it set up for July 29th to August the 27th. This chart right here tells me how this is my new versus returning clients. This green tells me how many new clients scheduled online. The gray tells me how many people online scheduled that are returning clients. The blue is how many people were scheduled inside the actual salon. The orange tells me how many people that were new clients or walk-ins or came in with their friend that scheduled themselves. And then we've got the appointment distribution chart right here, which tells you, okay, this is how many people you scheduled from your actual Android telephone. And then you've got this right here, which tells you how many people we scheduled from the iPad that we have at the salon. We've got one person that uses an iPhone. If you're doing online scheduling, and they can schedule with us through Instagram and Facebook and actualvagaro.com, it tells us that. What else? You could do all types of reports. If you're doing payroll for your hairstylist, it will tell you how it allows you to calculate payroll for hairstylists that may be working for you hourly, or payroll for hairstylists that may be working for you on commission. If you have booth renters, you're allowed to set up membership for booth rent so that it's automatically taken out of your booth renter's account, so you don't have to be a bill collector. If they decide not to come to work on a Saturday, you ain't got to be calling them talking about, hey girl, I know you don't feel well, but what's up with that booth rent? I really like all of the reports that you get. With Vagaro, you also get a website. And you can do email marketing if you decide to do a daily deal and everybody agrees on it, or if you're a salon where you guys are not booth renters and everybody is hired to work as an employee or a team. You can do daily deals where you shoot out emails to your clients. You can connect all of your social media so that whenever they go online on your Instagram or your Yelp or your Facebook or wherever you're at on social media, you can hook up, you can integrate to those places so that while they're on there, it will connect them to your Vagaro website. You can see the calendars of every single one of your clients. You can see the calendar of every single one of your hairstylists all at one time. So if you want to look and see what's going on in your salon today, you can do everybody's name. Booyah, you check it, and boom, nobody's at our salon right now. So we have hours to where all of us mark ourselves off so that because if it's white, like the white means you're open, available, and you're actually in the salon. But if it's gray, that says, you know what, I'm not going to be at work right now. Don't schedule me, anybody. So we don't schedule for each other where we're in the gray. I do my best to try and promote teamwork so that my ladies will work together and make more money. You know, when we do things alone, it just doesn't work out. So you can check your clients out on Vagaro. Vagaro also keeps up with like customer history. I'll go in here and pull one up. I'll pull up mine so that you guys don't see somebody's business that you probably know here in Tucson. And I'll be putting all this stuff up here. So anyways, my name is Deanna Grissett on here. It tells you how long they've been a customer, which is really just the first time that they've logged into Vagaro whenever you put them in. So it keeps up with information like your client's birth date. You can set it up automatically in the marketing area, which is right up here. You can set it up to where you can automatically send your clients happy birthday cards by email. It keeps up with their address, their phone number, their profile picture. Your clients can sign on with Facebook. And if they sign on with Facebook, it'll automatically put their Facebook picture right here so you know who you're talking to. Because once you get really, really busy, then you know and understand that sometimes you can have 3 or 4 different Deannas or 2 or 3 Susans. And you just want to be able to differentiate and stuff like that. It's important that you remember people's names because nobody likes to be treated like a number. You can see how much you sold to this customer to date. It tells you their last visit, how many appointments they've had with you. If they decided to do a no-show or a cancellation, it keeps up with them right here. There's this section that says general tags. So for me, like if I have doctors and some of my clients are business owners, I will tag and it'll say something like business owner when I tag them. So then that way, when I go through and do my marketing emails, I can say, only email this to customers with the tag business owner because we're doing business owner promotions or whatever the case may be. You can do your gift certificates online. You can keep notes on your clients, which I didn't keep any notes on myself, but you can keep notes on your clients, which also gives you an opportunity to keep up with their color formulas, different techniques that you used on them from time to time. You can go through and see which products they have purchased from you. to ensure. This helps you to keep up with how much product you sell, what products you want to sell, all that types of stuff. And then if you sell classes, you have your classes here, which tells you which classes your client partook in. So you know which one of your classes are selling, which one this client likes, so you can promote that one to them. Just a lot of different stuff. If you do the forms online, they have this little thing where you keep up with forms. It's just all types of stuff that you could take advantage of if you are a business owner, or if you're just an independent hairstylist and you just want to be a little bit more thorough about how you do your business. I feel like software is the way to go. So I have rambled enough. This has been Touchy Tuesday with Deanna, your fave stylist. And so if you guys are interested in trying out Vagaro, they do have a 30-day trial period where you can just try it out for free. One thing that I do love about Vagaro is that if you refer people to try out the site, then and the people actually try it out, they give you $25 of what they call Vagaro bucks, which allows you, the professional that uses Vagaro, to be able to make money towards your account, so that when you have to pay for your Vagaro at the end of the month, then you get that $25 discount or whatever the case may be. So if you are, I love you too, man. So if you are a beauty professional and you are looking for a scheduling software and you want to try one out, if you send me your first name, last name, email, and your phone number, you can help me to win Vagaro bucks, and I sure would appreciate it. But if you just want to log on and try Vagaro yourself just because you don't like me and you don't want to help me get Vagaro bucks, that's cool too. You can just go and sign up for the trial at vagaro.com. And and if you'd like to schedule an appointment with us at Melvirus Hair Studio, just go to melvirushairstudio.com and it's going to take you straight to our Vagaro website. I thank you, beautiful people, for checking in to my Touchy Tuesday. I'll go live, I'm sure, again before the last Tuesday of the month. I just want to put a focus on putting out better quality content. So instead of just getting up here and acting silly, I could do that anytime. But for Touchy Tuesday, it needs to be actual quality content that people want to tune in and pay attention to. So I thank you guys for checking me out. If you like the information that I'm providing, please turn your notifications on and look for me when I go live. And our next Touchy Tuesday will be the last Tuesday of the month at 10 a.m. Okay, so y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself, and I will see you on the next live video.